everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of Gist with Esse. If you're watching us from Facebook, please share the broadcast so your friends can join us. Remember to send in your questions for our guests, and if you want to call in directly, the number to call on WhatsApp is +447464951641. I'll take that again, +447464951641. Our guest today is a comedian and wellness advocate. She's proof that if you put your mind to something and you persevere, you will surely achieve. She has also proven that there is power in a name. Yes, that there's power in a name. She's currently living out her stage name, although when she started out, she looked nothing like it. Here are some before and after pictures of her and a clip from one of her shows back in the day.
Never understand. One guy toasted me one time like that. On a mentor, I say somebody toast me. On a they say, eh? Have you given up on me? My case is not hopeless. Now only me one fact. Contrary to what you believe, they still toast me. Some men like them like this. This is built for Nigerian roads. So be very careful. Nigerian men are very wise. They have big bank accounts. They have big houses. They drive big cars. Why would they want big wife? We should be very careful.
Yeah, that is the beautiful Lepacious Bose. I'm going to bring her on now. Hello. Welcome to Gist with Esse. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, you look so different from the clips we just played now. And I remember that I've seen you like that. I've been at one of those shows that you did in Trem. You came to Trem one time before I left the country, and I still saw you. You were already on your weight loss journey, I think, then, but you were still very much on the big side. So first, I want to say congratulations and well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So how did you get into comedy?
Oh, well, I was in University of Ibadan. Well, first of all, I was always the class clown from when I was in secondary school. I was always the class clown, the one who noticed when anyone spoke the wrong English, the one who made fun of the teachers, the one who, the one whose name is always on the noisemakers list. The one person that is in drama group, cultural group, debate, and all the groups, So I think I've always been an entertainer as a person. I remember growing up and people asking me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wasn't like the normal child that would say I want to be a lawyer or a doctor. I used to say I want to be famous. Like it was always the first thing I said. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be rich and famous. I didn't think of how I would be rich and famous. I just like the rich and famous life, And so I was that child that would always rush when there's recitation in church or anything that just puts you in front of everybody. And then, of course, I did pure sciences, and then I had admission issues, and then I changed over and I went to study theater arts in University of Ibadan. So when I was studying theater arts, there was a group called the Fomania Organization, and it was a comedy group, more like the skits they are doing these days now. All the skits that you're seeing on Instagram, those were the things that we did, but they were on stage. Now, the thing is, while they are doing the stuff on stage, it's supposed to be 1.5 hours to 2 hours performance. We didn't have time to strike the lights, strike the stage, go and change and all that. So while all that is happening in the background, My job was to be the anchor person, to keep the audience going, to entertain them, to throw jokes at them, to yap them and all that, while the next skit is getting ready to come up. And that was pretty much how I discovered that I had comedic talents. I never knew that I had it. I didn't even think it was possible. And by the time I finished theater arts and I was studying law, I just continued. I just continued. Yeah.
Okay, so why did you choose the name Lepacious Bose?
Okay, well, I always tell people that the name chose me. I didn't choose the name. It was funny. My when I was in school, everybody called me Orobo, because I've always been bigger than everybody else. Right from secondary school, I was bigger than everybody else. So they would call me Orobo, Fatso, this one. And I used to tell them that you are calling those things that are not as though they are. You guys are not reading your Bible. You are not reading your Bible. You are not looking in the eyes of the Spirit. If you are looking in the eyes of the Spirit, you will know that I am actually slimmer in this. I'm actually slimmer in this body than I am in real life. And you guys are the ones that you are actually fat. And so when they call me Yoruba, I will answer them and I'll say, "You mean Lepa?" So it was more like a joke, like a comeback to them. When they saw Yoruba, I'll say, "No, it's Lepa." So by the time I graduated from law school and I came to Lagos and I was doing comedy, as a comedian in Ibadan, my everybody called me Funke. And the reason is because I was studying law. And law and theater didn't get along. So I kept Bose to Faculty of Law and Funke was the comedian. So when I got to Lagos, people were confusing the comedian. Some people say I'm Bose, some people say I'm Funke, some people say I'm Bose, some people say I'm Funke. So I needed a name. And so when G and I sat down together, it was like, don't you have any nickname? I said, I don't have any nickname. My nickname is Bossy Konko that my daddy used to call me. I don't know any other nickname. It was like, how can you not have any nickname? So we're going back and forth. And like, okay, what do your friends call you? So I told him the story about Lepa, and he said, oh, that's nice. So let's make it interesting. We can't be calling you Lepa because there's already an actress called Lepashandi. So we have to make it interesting. So we started with Lepacious, we started with Curvaceous, we started with Boldilicious. We went on and on and on and then we just felt, oh, Lepacious sounds nice. Lepacious, Lepacious, delicious. Yeah, it meant everything that the brand that I was trying to create meant. You're sassy, you're in your face, you're not afraid, you are bold. So we just came up with the name and we're like, oh, that sounds nice. And so Owen liked it, I liked this, his wife liked it, and in that our small conference meeting, we concluded it was a good name.
Okay, so when you chose the name, okay, I've got two questions in one. When you chose the name Lepacious Bose, you were very comfortable with your size. Did you think at any point in the future that you would try to lose weight, or you just?
Oh no,
I've never been that.
No. Oh, I've always been that lady that wants to lose weight. Okay, from secondary school, I don't think there's anything I have not done. I don't think there's any concussion I have not drank. I was always, my friends were always coming up with one new thing they saw somewhere and they're like, "Boss, come and try this one, come and try that one." I was always trying one thing or the other, but somewhere also in the other side of my head, I was the one that felt, okay, some of us are not destined to be slim. I've tried everything, and since it's not working, we're going to rock this fat body. You people, I will rock this fat body until you people are frustrated that you can be fat and sexy and in your face, man. So it was more of a yo-yo emotion. One day I want to be Genevieve Naji, and then another day I'm like, I'm fine with the way I am. I don't care. Are you guys in your face? So I think it was more of a defense mechanism. You can't do it, and then you decide, okay, if I can't have what I want, then I must love what I have.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, that brings me to my next question. Did you ever experience body shaming, because of friends, from fans, friends, colleagues, and relatives?
Body shaming. It's not that you people call it body shaming. It's not that you people are giving it name. Before,
Okay, so
it
yeah.
was like,
So
that's what I'm saying. Body shaming. It's English. Before is what I grew up with. I endured this all my life. Even now, after I've lost weight, let me tell you. In my estate, when I first moved in, we didn't have water supply, so we used to buy water from the tanker suppliers. I didn't know that they named me Iyanla. That's the very fat woman. I didn't know that's what they called me behind me. And after losing weight, and I had lost weight, lost all the weight, they were still talking about me one day, and they called me Iyanla. And my brother was like, and like, how can you still call this kind of person like, oh, hello, you want water? You want us to deliver water? Where? Okay. Close 3. Is that Yanla's house? I like, Yanla, like, he couldn't comprehend it, that you mean people can still gossip about you behind you and still refer to you as Yanla. But that's it. And a lot of my jokes came from body shaming. A lot of my jokes from body shaming, and it was because they hurt me so much. I had to convert them to jokes. Oh man, body shaming. I lived body shaming. I lived walking on the road and Okada riders touching themselves and telling themselves, "You they go, go carry them," and I'm not even calling you. I'm not even asking you where you are going. You know. I lived that life of walking on the road, of walking on the road, and people just going, yeah, pa. You have not said anything. You don't know them. You are walking your own, but you know that there is you. They are just sitting down. Some people are just sitting and they're like, yeah, ha, ooh, hey, ha, and they're making all those sounds, and you're trying to tell yourself, keep it together, stay focused, don't worry. This is not about you. They are the ones that have a problem. If they don't have the guts to say it to your face, then they are not important. So I lived that. I remember one that actually stands out. One that actually stands out was at a wedding reception that I was anchoring, and I cracked a joke and I said, Okoyawo, you will have money, you will feed your wife so well that by this time, 2 years time like this, your wife will not fat like me. The guy in the middle of the hall, as in at his wedding reception in front of the entire world, just said, God forbid. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I don't know. I can't remember how I finished that event, but I did. But I remember crying all the way home. So yeah, I have experienced body shaming, and one of the ones that stood out, another one that stood out a lot was after I'd lost about 40 kg or 50 kg or thereabout, and I was so excited about it, and I didn't even put a before and after picture. I just put a picture of myself saying that, oh, finally I can wear this or something like that, and I posted it, and then the kg had screen grabbed it and went to put it, which is still why I don't go on her page, went to put it on her page and said, Lepacious Bose said she's losing weight. Is it true? And come and see trolling. Come and see trolling. Come and see, as in evil, like people that don't know me were like in my space. That's why I laugh when people go through all this. Oh, after the final weight loss, then the same people are now going and like, yeah, she went under the knife. She did this. When I had lost 40, 50 kg, these same people said it's a lie. She's wearing waist trainer. And I'm wondering, does waist trainer work for your chin and your face and your nose? And really, when I first started my weight loss journey, I just wanted to lose maybe about 50 kg, 60 kg, just to look like, in my head, just to look like a normal person, a normal person. But after that particular post, I was so pissed. I was so angry for the fun, and that was when I knew I had healed, because normally that would drive me, boss said that I know, I would drive to the nearest supermarket and buy junk food and eat my anger out, But for the first time, I told myself, I said, this Linda and your entire members, I am going to lose this weight to the point that you have to be blind, really, really blind, not to see this weight loss. That's, you must be blind not to see this weight loss. And so I took it, I took it, by that time I took it personal. I think I turned it to a war. You know, initially I started by, I wanted to be healthier, I wanted to do this well. But after that post, I think I took it a bit more personal. I was angry, I was bitter, and I wanted to win. For me, to me, it was now about winning. It was about winning.
I think the problems with haters is that they are so blind that they cannot see the truth, even if it stares them in the face. So,
oh no,
because they
they can't.
already have that mindset that I hate this person because of her size, no matter what you do, I'm sure a lot of people are still going to say, oh, she went under the knife and blah, blah, blah. But before you take us on your journey,
people still say stuff that they want to say. Even after the weight loss, I still see people who say you are still fat, you are still ugly. I still get all those kind of ridiculous DMs. You know, you are still fat. Well, what point are you trying to prove and all that? And yet, like I said, it wasn't even about Linda. I mean, all she did was posted a story. It wasn't in our hand the way people would receive it or the way people would perceive it. So it wasn't about her. I don't even think that she doesn't like me. I don't think we don't have that kind of rapport where she would not like me or she would have anything against me. It wasn't about her. It was about human beings generally. People are just generally so bitter, so unhappy with their own lives, and when it seems that you kind of
are getting it together,
where it seems like you kind of succeeded where they could not succeed, they have to justify your success as something different. I mean, a woman built a house, it has to be a sugar daddy that built it for her. A young guy becomes a millionaire, he has to be a ritualist. You know, we always have an explanation to explain why somebody else achieved what we could not achieve. So it's okay.
Okay, so for the benefit of those who are just joining us, I'm going to play the clip again. Pictures of her before and after, and a clip from a show she did back in the day.
Never understand. One guy toasted me one time like that. On a mentor, I say somebody toast me. On a they say, eh? Have you given up on me? My case is not hopeless. Now only me one fact. Contrary to what you believe, they still toast me. Some men like them like this. This is built for Nigerian roads. So be very careful. Nigerian men are very wise. They have big bank accounts. They have big houses. They drive big cars. Why wouldn't they want big wife? We should be very careful.
Wow. I've watched that clip like 100 times, but it still cracks me up every time I watch it again.
And that's why the word body shaming is relative. It depends on how you choose to receive it. You know, when I said one guy toasted me and everybody went, in a sense, that is body shaming. You actually think because she's fat, she cannot. But then because at that point, I was at that level of self-confidence where you can't put me down by such things. So I would come. There was always a comeback because I didn't dwell in the place of insecurity really, but I just wanted to be a better version of me.
Okay, so now take us through your journey to weight loss. What prompted the decision to lose weight, especially since you already made a name for yourself in the industry with the size that you were? At what point in your life did you say, okay, I need to lose this weight? What happened?
Okay, well, a couple of things that happened. I was about to hit my 40th birthday, and I kept asking myself, okay, boss, when you die now, what would be on your tombstone? Here lies a fat black comedian who cracked jokes about being fat. It didn't make any sense to me. That wasn't how I wanted to be remembered, you know. I mean, I was so much more. I was so much more. I mean, I am so much more. I am a lawyer. I'm a comedian. I'm an
Okay, it's frozen at her end, but yeah, she's going to come back up in a minute. So
I'm a
we're back.
lawyer, I'm a comedian, I'm an actress, I'm a speaker, I'm talented, I'm creative. Why does the only thing that occur to people where I'm concerned is that I'm fat? Even as a comedian, that's how you refer to that fat black comedian. There has to be more. There has to be more. And I was hungry for more. And so gradually being fat wasn't so funny anymore for me. I needed to be known for something else. I needed to be known for all the other wonderful things I was capable of doing. I was tired of even getting only roles in movies where I am either the fat bully that is bullying everybody. There was never, there was just never any opportunity to show myself for what I was capable of doing or all the talents that I had. Also, in my body, I had not seen my period for 2 years, and I'd gone to see the doctors, and they said it wasn't menopause. I was worried. I was scared. I had to induce every time I wanted to see my period. I needed to induce. Initially, when it started, I was happy. No period, no problem. I should be me. I could know that it's not pregnancy. I could know it's not pregnancy. Shebi, you have to be looking for pregnancy to have pregnancy. So I wasn't bothered initially. But then later I had all sorts of terrible bleedings at the wrongest time. You could be at an event and you look on the floor and you see blood all over the floor. It was always unexpected. It was always unplanned. So I started wearing dark colored boo-boos because you never know where this is going to happen. Yes, of course, I made it fashionable. People thought it was like my style, like even in that video you just played now, it was a black skirt. I lined it with some kind of bright colors. So whatever happens, you're still protected kind of. And people would not see what it was because you never know where this is going to happen, It was getting scary. I did all the tests, fibroid, this, that, cancer, that, and they kept telling me, no, you're fine. If you can just lose a bit of weight, everything will form, everything will go back to normal, and all that. So then, the more they kept telling me you needed to lose weight, the more difficult it became to lose weight. I mean, how do you keep saying that the only solution to someone's problem in life was to lose weight, and then it became more difficult? And then to add more insult to injury, they also recommended hormonal drugs to help me induce the period, and those hormonal drugs were making me bigger. And so that was really crazy. I was becoming black and bigger, and I mean, I looked at the mirror and I never liked what I saw. Never, ever liked what I saw. So a lot of stuff, I was having sleep apnea. I had something they call prolapse. Prolapse is the only thing, what happens to women that when they are pregnant, they carry very heavy babies, like maybe twins or triplets. It's just not something that happens every day, so it was crazy. So I was falling into deep depression. They would invite me for comedy performances and I would avoid them because I didn't want to have to think of being funny, and I didn't want to have to, the only way I could be funny should be about being fat. So it was I was suicidal. It was a lot of crazy stuff, Then I think everybody in my family started noticing, okay, this girl might just die on us one day. And my brother and his family invited me over for holidays at their place in Namibia. And while I was still lying down in bed and thinking about my life, I'm wondering, what am I going to do? This weight is not going to go down. Maybe I should just kill myself and let it end. There walked in my 10-year-old nephew, who is now about 18, by the way. I call him my voice of reason. He walked into the room and he was like, Auntie Bossy, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. And he's like, you sure? I said, yes. He said, I'm not sure you're fine. And I said, why did you say that? He said, because you're breathing funny. Now, for somebody like him to say I was breathing funny, I was in the bedroom and he came in from the sitting room. So it wasn't like he was with me in the room. He came from another place into the room because he could hear the breathing. that was when I realized how bad it was. You know, it was like you're breathing heavy, like your heart is about to stop. So I thought you were sleeping. I came to check if you're sleeping properly. So he actually, so I said, am I snoring? He said, no, just breathing heavy. Because I wasn't sleeping and I knew I wasn't sleeping. So for him to worry enough about my breathing, to come from another room, to come and check if I was lying down properly or something, I must have actually scared this 10-year-old boy. And that was when I told myself, this has to end. And so for the first time, I mean, all my life, I've always tried to do it my own way and everything. But for the first time, I think that was the first time I actually prayed about it. I've always prayed about, oh God, I want to lose weight. Oh God, help me. Oh God. But this was the one time I was like, God, I can't do this by myself. I need you.
Wow. Okay, so you guys, if you have questions for our guest, this would be a good time to start dropping your questions so she can take them before we end the
Yes,
show.
and I just kept saying, I need help. I need help. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. I can't even remember. I don't even think I said anything throughout that. I just remembered going into the bathroom, locking the door, lying down on the floor of the bathroom, opening the shower, and I just laid down there and I just kept saying, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. I can't go on like this. I can't. And I remember after that, discussing with my brother and my sister-in-law, asking them for help and what we're going to do and everything. And when I got to the doctor, about 2 days later, to go and talk to the doctor and the nutritionist and everything, I remember the doctor asking me, if you don't lose weight by this time next year, what would happen? And I looked at the doctor straight in the eye and I said, I'll be dead. And it's not because I'll be sick. It's not because that I would have killed myself. I've gotten to that point where I know that I would have taken my life. And so it's not about, for me, losing weight is not about before and after picture. It's not about looking better or sexier. It's a fight for my life, So it's either I lose the weight or I stay fit, or I actually just cave in and die, because there was too much at stake. My hormones were in trouble, my emotions were in trouble, depression was a regular thing, so it's much more for me. So when people tell me they start and they stop, they start and they stop, and they cannot keep consistent, they can't be consistent, I tell them it's because you have nothing to lose. I have everything to lose, and that's what keeps me going. So when people don't know your backstory, when people don't know the backstory, it's easy for them to say, what is she trying to prove? Who is she competing with? Why is she over there? But this is all. So what did I do to drop?
Sorry?
What did I do? I saw a question from Esse Asagba saying, what did you do to drop so much? Okay, first of all, the reason why people always feel that I drop so much is because they think that it's drastic. And that's because they think that I was weighing 210 kg in January, and in December I weighed 100 kg. No, this is an 8-year journey. This is my 8th year. I'm going on my 8th year on this journey. And I know that because like I said, I started my weight loss journey just before I hit my 40th birthday. So I know exactly how long it took me. And the first sign of obvious weight loss took about 18 months or 2 years. And by that time, I'd lost about 70 kg. Before outsiders started saying, whoa, is that Lepacious? What happened? It took about 2 years, And even after that 2 years, I was tempted to just be like, okay, now everybody has noticed, it's fine, I can stop. Then I gained a bit back, then I lost a bit again, and then we did the yo-yo diet, then you became comfortable again, and then, so I was at my biggest at 210 kg, I was at my smallest at 95 kg.
What? 95? Wow. Okay, I'm inspired. 210 to 95.
Yes, in that video that you played, I was about 210 kg. Yes, maybe about 200, because after that,
exercising,
sorry,
did you take certain, what exactly did you do? Was it just exercise, or were you eating? Did you change your eating habits, or you were taking
Okay,
supplements, or what?
okay. Now you are breaking. Now you are breaking. But if you type the question, I would answer you.
Okay, can you hear me
Now
now?
you are breaking. I think so.
Okay, so what I said, just Esse's question. What exactly did you do to drop weight?
Okay, first of all, I needed to see doctors to help me with my hormonal issues because
Okay.
I found out I had hypothyroidism. So of course, if you have hypothyroidism, your hormones are not right. So you need to fix that, because if you don't fix that, you can't help yourself. Really, you're just going to be self-sabotaging yourself. I also got a nutritionist, because you cannot fix it yourself. It's not about starving, because that was the understanding I had for years. If you want to lose weight, you starve yourself. So I would go on a self-starve for days and days, and then I would expect to go from 20 to size 12 in 2 days. And if it doesn't happen, I'll get frustrated. So I got a nutritionist who put me in, you know, gave me meal plans upon meal plans and I didn't start by exercising. I don't think I exercised until I had lost about 40 to 50 kg. Because anyway, what exercise was I going to do? I was that massive, I was that big, and it wasn't even safe for my heart to do exercises when you're weighing that much. Anyway, so I basically would my first my first 6 to 8 months, my only exercises were doing household chores. So first thing first was I did away with house helps, with cleaners that come in once or twice a week, and I just did everything myself, which was very tiring, really. But then I did everything myself, and that was my own kind of exercise. So, I mean, for someone that had not swept your own house for months or for years, now sweeping, you now see me palpitating. For me, that was a lot of exercise in those days. So that was pretty much how I started. But most importantly, I started off by, first of all, learning to like fruits, then learning to understand the composition of every food. For example, in those days, I would say I was on diet and I would not eat all day. Then I would now sit down and finish one whole pineapple and 3 mangoes and banana, and I'll say all I've eaten all day is fruits. All I've eaten all day is fruits. You understand? And I used to feel justified. I've eaten only fruits all day. I've eaten only fruits all day. But a whole pineapple or a whole bunch of banana was just as bad as a bowl of eba. I could just have sat down and eaten a bowl of eba, and it would have made more sense, you know. So those things, I started doing my research. I started doing my research. I had to learn to do the research because, of course, my dietitian was South African, not Nigerian, and she didn't understand Nigerian food. So I will have to come back and adapt everything in my menu to the Nigerian menu, and then explain to her. Because when I say I'm eating ewedu, when I send a picture of ewedu to her, she's asking me what is the composition of ewedu, what is the calorie content. So I had to learn those things as I went along, not just because I wanted to, but because I had to give proper report and account to my dietitian. And
Okay, we lost her there for a minute. We're gonna have her back. I'm sure she's gonna try and log back on in a minute. So wow, wow, very inspiring story. Yes, she's back. Yeah, hello.
yeah, that was pretty much the story.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go straight to questions from our viewers before we round up.
Okay, now I can't hear you
Oyemi
anymore, but
Sade says, sorry?
now I can't hear you anymore, and your video, but I'm sure that we'll get across to it.
Can you see the question on the screen? Okay, we've lost her again. Let's just give her a few minutes. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna try and put your questions across to her once she gets back in. But if we can't take all your questions today, don't worry about it. We'll get a way to get the answers across to you guys. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
So there's a question on the screen. Can you see it?
We haven't seen her on stage. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so the question says, we haven't seen her on stage in a while. What has she been up to? Oh, well, I've been up to a lot of stuff. I mean, that's the interesting thing about weight loss. After losing weight, people just don't know that you are the one. I remember when somebody shouted and said, I've watched Wedding Party 3 times and I didn't know you were the one. I didn't know you were the one in Wedding Party. Oh my God, I didn't know. So it's interesting how those things go by, and because of the weight loss, people are used to seeing you in a particular way, and then when they don't see you that way anymore, they don't see who you are. One of the things is that before I lost weight, I was doing much more of private events, more than shows. So I still do my private gigs. I anchor events. I anchor government events, private events, weddings, and all that. And it's been great. So, like I always tell people, just because you're not on every poster, doesn't mean you're out of business. So I still do that. I still do a bit of acting in there and out, but that is one of the side. That's one of the what downside of weight loss again. People are used to seeing you act a particular role, so it doesn't really occur to them to give you any other role. They can't really figure you.
Okay, we keep breaking. We keep breaking. She's gonna join us back, guys. Yeah. Thank you for all your comments. I can see you. I can see you guys. Isat, Oyemi, Keda, Ace, Tracy, Apojotso. We're just gonna wait till she gets back on. We're about to round up anyway. Yeah, she's back.
Network is not smiling today.
He's not. We're gonna round up in a bit. We're about to round up, but let's just try and take the questions quickly. Okay, so the next question says, hello? Hello? Okay, I think she can't hear me. Hi, hello, can you hear me? There's a question on the screen.
Um,
Can you hear me? Can you see the question on the screen? Okay. Okay, once she comes back in, I'll just have her round up. Sorry, we can't take all your questions today. I will try and see if we can take just one more. And then we can round up. Yes, so what has inspired you guys about her story? Please drop your comments in the comment section. Let's read out your comments. What's the most inspiring, aspect of her story so far? Yes, Oyemi, I didn't know she was in the wedding party either. I'm going to go watch the wedding party again so that I can see the role that she played. Okay, it looks like it's a bit difficult for her to get back in this time. Yeah, so put up your comments. What's the most inspiring part of her story? For me, I love her confidence, even before it's, the body shaming started getting to her. For her to have been that big and be confident enough to even go on stage, that's really inspiring to me because there's so many things that I avoid doing once I add weight. I'm like, no, I'm not fit. I can't go to, I can't do that right now. But she was doing it for a very long time, so it must have taken a lot of courage, a lot of guts to just keep going. And you're doing comedy and people are responding to you, and it's not always positive. Even the people that don't have weight issues, yeah, comedians, their job is not easy. Even if you're not a comedian, you're just an MC, you host events, and then it's not easy to get people to carry people along, so to have to deal with all of that. Oyemi says it's easier for a lot of people to just give up, but the fact that she had the will to try is inspiring. And Isat says this is a great example that you don't need to rush weight loss. You can take your time, be happy and healthy. Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, that's another thing that I learned from her. Definitely, definitely, because a lot of us just expect that in 2 weeks would have dropped all the weight. Okay. In 2 weeks, I've been struggling with my weight loss as well for a very long time. And yeah, it's been off and on, off and on. Hello? Hello? Okay, can you hear me,
Hello.
ma'am?
Hello. I can hear a sound.
Okay, the audience will help us. Those of you in the audience, please, can you just
I can hear a sound. I don't
see the
but I can hear a sound. That means you are talking, but I can't hear anything. But if you type the question, I'll read it.
Okay, fine. So here's the question. There's a question on the screen.
Oh, Lordy, 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 Lordy.
There's a question on the screen. Hello, ma'am. There's a
Oh,
question on the
Lordy,
screen.
Lordy, 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 Lordy.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, yeah.
I think this is the point where I'll be singing until you get. I have a feeling that everything's gonna be all right. Oh, oh, oh.
Okay, the thing is, now
Now I can hear you.
Private chats. Okay, give me a minute, guys. Okay. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Thank God.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The viewers can hear you.
The viewers can hear you. No, I never worried about the viewers hearing me. It was that the screen always just takes me out on its own.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay. So
yeah.
and then I was trying to put questions.
Yeah. So let's go.
On the screen for you.
You said what?
Questions. Can you see the question on the screen?
Have you been maintaining? How have you been maintaining your new weight? Okay. How have I been maintaining my new weight? Like I said when I started, I was weighing 210 kg. Then I got down to 95 kg. Then I started feeling like, oh, we are the diva, we are the queen, we are the masters of weight loss, we know what to do. And I started doing, oh, a little here, a little there, just a little bit of this, just a little bit of that. When I'm ready, I know how to get it out. Boom! I woke up one day, 140 kg. Ha! 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 How did I get here? No, 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 no. Hey, I'm almost going back to where I was coming from. And you know, one of the things that I did when I first lost all the weight was I actually bought a sewing machine. I hired a tailor that was resuming in my house every day and slim fit all my dresses. I was feeling very sexy, and so I didn't have clothes. There was nothing to wear. Where do you start from again? How do you begin to order clothes online and they're not asking you size what? You are saying size 20. 14. I say, yeah, that is how we started again. That is how we started again. This time with intense exercises. Initially, when I did it, it was with little exercises, minimal exercises. But now, it is fight to finish. It is war, you know. Because, of course, people were now already coming, of course, now, trust social media. People were coming to my social media space, making nasty comments. I remember a particular comment that broke me. The person said, isn't this the same? The question was everybody was celebrating for losing weight. You have gained all the weight back. Now, wow, fat must really like you. That comment rang in my head for days. I cried, I threw tantrums, I did everything, and I told myself, fat, you don't like my body, I reject it. And then I started all over again. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, here's a comment for you.
So maintaining it now. So how have I been able to maintain it after? I won't even say I'm maintaining, because you maintain where you have gotten to where you are going. I haven't even gotten to where I'm going. I don't think I will ever get to where I'm going. Where I want to go is back to my 95 kg. I don't ever want to cross the 100 kg mark again, you know. But then it has been very elusive. 103, another day I'm 105, another day I'm 108, then another day I'm 105 again, and so but it's never been more than 108. So it's 95 kg has been very elusive. So I can't even say I'm maintaining. I'm constantly fighting to get it down. So for me, it's not a maintenance thing. You are beautiful, Bossy. I know you might hear that all the time, but there is a genuineness about your beauty. Thank you so much. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. People think that when you're in the public view, you're used to hearing nice things, and then you get used to it, and then it won't mean anything. But really, I think we all just have that thing about us that makes us want to know that appreciated, or we are loved, or we are seen, as it were. That's what I crave most, for people to actually see me, not look at me, but see me. And thank you very much, Jennifer, for seeing me. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, one last question from the viewers, and then we round up.
Okay, I didn't hear you. If you type the question, I would read it out and then I would answer it.
It's on the screen. Okie dokie. So, it's such a question is the journey to self-love. I'd like to hear how she went back to loving herself again and all that. But for me, I'm just going to tell you guys the truth. It's not easy.
How has your journey to self-love been thus far, my darling? The truth is, I think the journey to self-love, you can't separate it from weight loss. All my life, I wanted to lose weight for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to lose weight because I wanted to keep a boyfriend, or I wanted to lose weight because I felt that was the only way to get married, or I wanted to lose weight because I wanted to belong to a clique of friends, or I wanted to lose weight because I thought that was the in thing. I always wanted to lose weight for one thing or the other, for one reason or the other. I think the only time it actually worked was when I did it for myself, when I loved myself enough to care. When I loved myself enough to look at myself and say, Bosse, is this working? Is this what you want? Is this what you want to wake up to look at every day? When I loved myself enough to care about the consequences of the decisions and the choices I was making, I think that was when the weight started falling off. I think that was when I cared enough to make an effort and kept to the effort and was consistent with the effort. So I think that's the foundation of everything. Like I always tell people, weight loss starts from the mind. If you can't lose the weight in the mind, you can't lose it in the body. And the
Okay, so on that note, we're going to end this with Essay today. I'm sure that, you guys have learned a lot. Okay, she's coming back. Let's see if we can just get her to sign off.
is the
Okay, so on the last note, your last message to your viewers.
I can't see you anymore, but like I was saying, if you can't lose the weight in your body, in your mind, you can't lose it in your body. And losing it in your body first starts with loving yourself. So the truth is, I really don't even know this Bosse, this Nima Bosse. Even me, I don't know her very well. I'm learning to know her. I'm learning to know that she's much more quiet than the bigger Bosse. She's much more less tolerant of rubbish than the former Bosse. She's much more dedicated to things than the former Bosse. She's actually less amused by pranks than the former Bosse. So there are lots of things I'm learning to know about this Bosse that is so different from the former Bosse. So I realized that there were a lot of things I took for granted, or there were a lot of things I allowed in my space because I did not even realize I didn't love myself enough to put some boundaries in. So yes, self-love is everything, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it.
Okay, so on that note, we're going to be ending the show. And Tsubasa, I know you love to sing. If you can hear me, you can just, sign off with the song for us.
I can't hear you again.
Okay, so we're going to round up. We're going to round up on that note, and okay, guys, so we're trying to round up, but she can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Please type your question. I can't. Please type it. I can't hear
Okay, so I need you
anything.
guys, viewers. Can someone just type for me that she should round up with her last message, and then we call it a day? If someone can do that for me, she will see it on the screen, and then we round up. Okay, guys, quickly, someone please type that for me. Okay, no one has been able to do that. Okay, so we're just going to call it a day. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're just going to end it on this note. But thank you everyone for joining us on this lesson today. We need deliverance with network issues all over the world because okay, so let's hope that she sees that. Screen. There's a message on the screen. There's a message on the screen. I know you can see me. There's a message on the screen. Yeah, can you see the message on the screen?
Down with your last message. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for having me here. I appreciate being here. It's a bit frustrating. I don't know what's going on with the network. It's so I don't know what's going on. But thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you all for joining in and for your questions and for your kind words. I wish you all the best on your healthy lifestyle journey, and I wish you all success in life. Have a fantastic 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us on this with Esse today. Till next time, remember, stay positive, stay happy, stay mended. Bye guys.